What happens then? She jumps in her car, he jumps in his, and a car chase takes off. This is definitely something of a movie. I mean, this is a movie for sure.
I cannot believe this has not been made into a movie. This is absolutely nuts. Welcome back to Arsenic Culture, where beer don't count, but bad decisions do. I'm Matt.
I'm Jason.
I caught you in the middle of a
drinking
sip.
a beer. Damn, dude. You gotta give me the go-ahead. Like,
Like
we're
a
going.
reaction, like, no,
I need a 3, 2, 1 action or some shit.
We're getting back to our bourbon roots here.
Oh, yeah.
This show is really, it's evolved over time. Remember in the beginning, we were just like doing random shit?
We'd have whatever we could find, the most rare shit, and just try to review it.
Yeah, and
rate
now
it.
we're like kind of honing in on stories because honestly, that's better listening potential
it's
for
more
you guys.
fun.
It is more fun talking
Yeah.
about it. This story is insane. I cannot believe I did not know about this motherfucker.
I knew parts of it, but I definitely didn't know the whole thing.
Just, yeah, like how like crazy like his life was. Like, this is insane. We're talking about George Remus and the life and crimes of this crazy individual.
Our boy right here.
Yeah, and we got a bottle here. If you're watching instead of listening on YouTube, we got, tell us about this barrel pick that you got here.
So this is actually, I got to go, this is from 2020, a few years back. So I actually got to go to MGP in Indiana.
Right.
And we did a barrel pick with one of their brands, like one of the brands from MGP is Remus, George Remus Bourbon.
Yeah.
So this is what it was bottled under. It is 121.7 proof. I think it's about 6 years old, if I remember correctly.
Okay, right on.
It's not age stated, but I thought it would be a good time to reopen it. It's been open for a while, but see if it still tastes good while we're talking.
Let's drink some George Remus and talk
Yeah.
about George Remus and have dreams about George Remus.
It might be, I don't think he's that attractive. I don't know.
I didn't say they'd be good dreams. I'm just like, yeah,
Maybe he's chasing you with a gun. With
I know.
a knife
I've been
or
doing
something.
research for 24 hours. This is all I can fucking think about. So get us popping off here.
All right,
on
so
this guy.
Who is George Remus? Well, he was born in 1874 in Berlin, Germany. He was a German immigrant who moved to and grew up in Chicago. So he began supporting his family at an early age because of his father's alcoholism. He was working in a pharmacy. I assume it was like a pharmacy tech or probably stocking the shelves or something.
Yeah.
But what he did there is he worked his way up. He ended up owning several pharmacies and was a pillar in the community, so very well respected. From there, he studied law, and then what his focus was labor rights, immigrant causes,
Right.
as well as criminal cases. He hated the death penalty. That's one of his big things he was focused on, to get rid of that.
Really? Okay.
He justified any means of preventing his clients from execution. And what I mean by any means, he was very charismatic, intelligent in the courtroom, high drama. So this dude was crazy, and they called him Crying Remus. was
Crying
his
Remus.
nickname.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Speaking of intelligent,
Yeah.
he...
Me.
Yeah, that was the end of my statement.
Okay,
So we can continue. No, he was. He passed. I said pharmacy exam. I think I meant bar exam.
Bar exam.
He passed the bar exam at 19, and he became a lawyer by 24.
Yeah, it
Like-
was impressive.
Yeah, dude. Like, the dude was just on it. He was fucking on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, he's a lawyer. So after Prohibition, he defended several bootleggers. So from there, he actually saw how much money and how easily it could be made, what they were doing to make it. So from there, he realized, hey, I know a lot of legal loopholes that I could exploit as a lawyer and a pharmacist.
Yeah.
So what he was doing is he could legally buy liquor himself as a pharmacist license and all that things.
Right.
And then he could steal it from himself and then resell it at a huge profit.
So I want to talk about something before we go into that, because that is the crux of this story.
It
is him being a bootlegger. That's what he's famous for. When he was a lawyer, he's always been a lawyer, but back when he was practicing, he is the one who is credited with establishing the transitory insanity defense.
Okay.
That is a fancy way of saying temporary insanity.
Okay.
And that's used, you hear that a lot,
You do.
temporary insanity. He is largely credited with creating that.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And one of his clients, William Cheney Ellis, in a murder case in 1914, he introduced the transitory insanity defense and got him off the hook. Let me make sure I got him off the hook. I'm assuming
I
it
bet
did.
you're right. Makes sense. It adds up at the end of the story. I get that.
Yeah, but the whole, exactly. So that's why I wanted to tie that in. It's defined as a momentary lapse in judgment based on extreme extenuating circumstances. I was cool because you hear that in like TV and like juries law
a
all
lot,
the time.
especially like in the 80s and 90s movies. Everybody was a temporary insanity getting off, but they really weren't. You
Yeah,
know? It was like,
exactly. Like he's credited with inventing that. I thought that was really
pretty
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
So from there, he was in Chicago or whatever, so he moved to Cincinnati. Why did he move there? Well, one of the reasons was most of the nation's whiskey at that time were within 300 miles. So it's
Right
kind of
around
like the
that area.
central point, right? So what he did there is he bought up a lot of local distilleries, and he didn't dilute his liquor. So that a lot of these people, like during Prohibition and then after too, were having their liquor diluted with like water or whatever the hell else they wanted to make more profit. But with his scheming, I guess, so he was buying these distilleries and making it, and don't forget, he was also stealing it from himself and then getting it back and selling it. So he's like triple dipping.
Right.
He didn't have to cut his product, right?
No, he
like
didn't
a
have
drug
to.
dealer, right? Like if you get it
Exactly
from the
right.
source, you don't got to cut as much.
And I think this is it really is a testament to his intelligence, but not only that, the amount of scruples that he may or may not have, because there's a floaty thing in the air. The amount of scruples he may or may not have, because he, working in a pharmacy, he knew how pharmaceuticals worked. He knew the whole the legal aspect of it.
Remember back then too, so for Prohibition, you had to have that prescription for alcohol.
So you couldn't just go and buy whiskey. The only way it was legal is if you had a quote-unquote prescription. I say quote-unquote. No, you literally had to have a prescription. That was it. So he knew that. He knew how that worked because he grew up working in the pharmacy. And then being a lawyer, he knew like the legal applications of buying and selling whiskey, which was strictly prohibited during Prohibition except for medical purposes. So he's like, okay, I'm going to make it. I'm going to sell it under the guise of being medicinal, which is the only legal way to do it. But there wasn't as much money in medicinal whiskey, which is why a lot of the distilleries shut down. So he's like, this fucking underground market is still huge.
When you're
It's
not
popping.
moving volume either. So if you got a big distillery used to making this much bourbon,
Yes.
now you can make this because you don't need as much.
And people are still drinking it. They're just buying it illegally. So he's like,
It's made in bathtubs.
yeah, he's like, what you said. He's like, I'm going to produce it legally. I'm going to produce it legitimately, and I make it high quality, sell it under the guise of quote unquote being medicinal, but I'm going to pay people basically to rob my own trucks and then resell it underground. So instead of making, 5%, I'm going to make like 150%. Like,
And if they get caught, he can get them off.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is triple edition. Yeah, better call Saul. That's
right.
Better
That's
call
him.
Remus.
That's him.
Dude, honestly, it's fucking ingenious. Like, as long as you're okay with
It
just
is.
like, fucking the system, which a lot of people are.
So speaking of Better Call Saul in relation to this guy, so he's huge personality, huge big lifestyle, right? He also referred to himself in the third person, which is pretty
hilarious.
wild, right? Like,
Yeah.
So
He's like, George don't like this kind of whiskey. George likes the uncut
George is
whiskey.
going to get you off, buddy. You ain't going to jail. George will not let you go to
You
jail.
listen to George, yeah. That's hilarious.
So then the other big thing, and I'm sure you're going to touch on it too. So this guy with his lifestyle and everything, I mean, very extravagant, everything going on. He is actually credited by a lot of people, a lot of sources, as the inspiration for the Great Gatsby character.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. So had this big mansion in Cincinnati.
Yep.
Huge parties, lavish parties. And then he was given like his guests party favors, but not like here's a bottle of booze.
Oh, yeah.
He was giving the ladies cars for the women.
Pontiacs, right?
I didn't see the Pontiac.
I guess
Is that
that
it?
Pontiac was a
Okay.
big deal back then. I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
And then the guys, he was giving diamond stick pins and watches, which is kind of wild.
I had to look up what a stick pin is.
It's like a little thing he goes here, right?
No, it's what?
Like a lapel? Is it what a stick pin is?
It can go in lapel.
Okay.
I think of, when people have ties and they roll that pin through the knot.
Yeah.
I think that's a stick pin.
That could be.
But I think you put it I think you could pin like a handkerchief.
Okay.
It's just it's like you said, it is a pin, but he put like fucking diamonds on, real diamonds. And he gave the shit away to people at his parties.
Yeah. Shockingly, I don't have any stick pins.
You don't have any stick pins?
No.
You don't have any diamond-lated $10,000
I don't have any
stick pins?
diamonds.
Yeah. You come to my next bottle share and I'll give you one for free. I got one for everybody.
And then my favorite story for some of these parties, though, were he was actually literally lighting cigars with $100 bills.
$100 bill, just
Yeah.
lighting them on fire,
Yeah.
light cigars.
Like, dude,
that does sound
wild.
like something straight from the Great Gatsby.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. He was nicknamed the King of Bootleggers. he was bribing police and politicians. I don't know if this number is correct.
Oh, I bet it was.
He reportedly spent up to $20 million in bribes over the course of his career, which I don't know if that's today's money or money back then. That's got to be today's money.
I don't know.
That's
I mean,
a
you look
lot
at
of
depends on how
fucking
big your
money,
operation was, though.
And he had a huge ass operation. He bought in so many distilleries after he started his own and stuff like that. He was huge.
Then you're distributing out to other counties, other states, and if you watch Boardwalk Empire, we talked about that earlier, but he was a character in that as well. Right. You could see some of that.
Yeah. In 1921-22, federal agents raided his Death Valley farm, which I guess was an estate that he had up in the Cincinnati area. Okay. Remus was, the reason federal agents raided him is because somebody ratted on him. It was apparently a disgruntled employee. I couldn't find out who it was. I guess it was unimportant, but somebody was just like, "Hey, you need to check this guy out."
Well, you think at that point though, the scale of your operation, everybody would know. So it's honestly,
oh yeah,
it might have been that, but it's probably like they got to a politician or a prosecutor that he didn't pay off or couldn't bribe. They're like, let's take this guy.
Because how many people he had in his pocket? Yeah, eventually it's going to collapse in on itself. There's no way to sustain that. He ended up being indicted for thousands of Volstead Act violations. The Volstead Act is basically prohibition. Mm-hmm. It's what prevented alcohol from being sold. They call it the Volstead Act. So he got in trouble for violating a lot of things. He got sentenced to 2 years in Atlanta Penitentiary. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
I don't know why they sent him to Atlanta, but
probably a nicer one.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's kind of random. Yeah. While he was in prison, he confided in a gentleman named Franklin Dodge. Franklin Dodge was, I think, a DOJ agent. They call him Posse Comitatus agent, which is a temporary civilian agent called upon by law enforcement for assistance. But I think he worked for the DOJ, I believe. So this guy was sent in as a government official to talk to Remus to try to get him to kind of cough
Give
up
some
just information. Exactly.
Yeah. A stool pigeon is what you call him.
Yeah. What ended up happening is they kind of became fast friends. And Remus he was confiding in him, which kind of doesn't make sense to me. But a lot of these stories that we hear is Remus, for all his faults, it sounds like he had really good intentions.
I bet he was a fun dude, no matter what.
Oh yeah, no shit. Yeah. Well, fucking give me diamond stick pins. I bet
everybody would say he's a good dude. Unless he did something crazy to you.
Yeah, he gave me diamonds, so I still like him.
He's misunderstood.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he confided in Franklin Dodge, who was a government representative. Franklin Dodge did something unexpected. This government agent, instead of going to the government, maybe he divulged some of his secrets. What he ended up doing is telling Remus that, hey, I got your back. Mm. We're fast friends now. Just, tell me whatever you want to get off your chest, and I'll help you out. He ended up giving him some information on his business. He ended up taking that information, going back and talking to his wife. At the time was a lady by the name of Imogene.
Yep.
And he ended up fucking her. He had an affair with George Remus's wife.
Seems dangerous.
Seems fucking really dangerous. I wouldn't the balls on that guy, dude. He ended up quitting his government job, got in bed with her. They were in cahoots to sell all of his shit. So they liquidated all of his assets. They sold all of his businesses. They tried to have him deported. They had launched some scheme to get him sent back to
Germany.
Was it Germany or Bavaria? Something like that.
Berlin's where he's
from.
Okay,
yeah. They tried to get him sent back to Europe, which didn't work. By the time Remus got out of jail, he had $100 to his name.
Wow.
That was it. They fucking liquidated everything and stole everything from him.
I bet he was not a happy man when he got out of jail.
I'd say not. Imogene and Dodge tried to hire somebody also to have him killed. They offered somebody $15,000 to assassinate George Remus, and I guess at that point just to get him out of the picture because they already robbed him blind. The hitman they had hired, thought it was more shady than it should have been. He thought he was being set up. Seriously. So he ended up just be no, fuck this. I'm not getting involved with this. So that actually fell through. But not only did they try to have him deported, but then they tried to have him killed. That fell through. So he gets out of jail. He's got $100 for his name. He's like, what the fuck is going on? He starts to, I guess this is like where they decide they're going to get a divorce. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
He referred to his wife Imogene as "quote unquote" degenerated clay.
Yeah.
Which I thought was the oddest remark.
I've never. I read that too. I've never heard that term.
I had to look that up. So, from what I can tell, degenerated. So this is a long time ago. Christian values are still paramount, I guess, at that time. So they're talking about like man or mankind being made out of clay, out of God's image. Okay, so it's like if you are a good person, you can be molded out of clay to be made into a good human being.
Okay.
He was saying she was degenerated clay, like she could not be molded in the way that he wanted to mold her. It was an insult, but it was really like, if you try to say that today, that's kind of like, well, you're kind of the fucking asshole here. You know what I mean? Like,
nobody knows what the hell you're talking about. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that's bad. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, he's kind of basically saying, like, I'm a misogynist. Like, I should be able to control her and I can't.
Oh, I think that would be typical of somebody back then, especially this dude. Especially this dude, yeah.
That's the thing. So, yeah. So then after that, I guess Remus decided to take matters into his own hands.
Yeah. So again, on this one, man, the divorce and everything. So he was he was actually going out here and filed his own divorce suit. So he was the one that filed first, and he was going out to reporters and telling them all about her misdeeds, all this cheating she was doing.
It was like a smear campaign.
Kind of thing. A behind the scenes kind of them, like getting it in the papers and stuff. I mean, again, this guy's a smart dude. He's got a lot of ties. He's a lawyer. He knows how things work.
Right.
I'm sure he's leaked stuff to the press before.
Oh yeah.
So the day that the divorce was to be finalized, George Remus wanted to speak to Imogene. I call her Imogene. You say Imogene.
Yeah.
One last time.
That sounds like a
Easter Kentucky.
Yeah,
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So one last time he wanted to talk to her. Why? Who knows? When she saw him, when he pulled up, she panicked.
I know why.
She panicked. Well, yeah. She panicked. And then what happens then? She jumps in her car, he jumps in his, and a car chase takes off.
It's fucking like O.J. Simpson style, except there's two cars, not one. Like,
this is definitely something of a movie. I mean, this is a movie for sure.
I cannot believe this has not been made into a movie. This is absolutely nuts.
And we looked it up too. I mean, we get the Great Gatsby's based some of this, so the movie there, but you looked it up. There's one movie coming out this year. It looks like a straight to DVD movie or straight to streaming, whatever. It's DVD.
Like an independent, like university film made with like a bunch of like students, probably. Yeah.
But still, I mean, again, how could you not make a movie about this guy? I guess the best movie about him has been Boardwalk Empire. Like he wasn't a main character, but he was a side main character.
I need to watch that show. Everybody says it's amazing.
A lot of people too, like we've talked about in our stories, or our episodes. You would really like that. You would put two and two together. Even you could.
Even me.
So anyway, when they're chasing each other in these cars, it ends up in Eden Park. It's in Cincinnati.
Right.
So there's an argument there, and then what happens? Remus ends up shooting Imogene in the stomach. And she died soon after.
I mean, she went to the hospital and kind of bled out or whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
supposedly that's a really bad. Yeah, that's what they say. That's a really bad way to die.
Especially back then. I mean, early 1900s probably. So you're not,
Yeah. So he basically ran her down.
Yep.
And then shot her dead. Well, shot her in the stomach and
OJ. Yeah. So what did he do then? He turned himself in.
He immediately turned himself in.
Yeah. Made front page news, and of course, being the lawyer that he was, the showman that he was, he defended himself in the murder trial.
Yeah.
So it was him and one other lawyer named Charles Elston. I don't think anybody cares about Charles, though. It's Remus show.
It's Remus for all intents and purposes.
It's the Remus show.
Yeah, exactly.
So during the trial, Imogene was portrayed as a woman terrified of her violent husband, knowing too much, way too much about it, and trying to actually work with law enforcement to testify against him. That's how they were saying that she was a good person. That's why he was so mean, tried to kill her.
Did you see who the prosecuting attorney was?
I did not.
It was Charles Phelps Taft. None other than the son of President William Howard Taft. He was the president's son trying to prosecute George Remus. Talk about fucking high-profile cases. And again, why is this not a fucking movie?
Yeah, right?
That's insane.
And I think, too, I mean, I read a little bit about that. I forgot the name, but it was on a silver platter. Like, you had Remus dead to rights, right? Like, this was a slam dunk to build this guy's career. Like, he was moving up, right? So they give it to him.
And, looking at the evidence, looking at everything, the way it was presented, it should have ended that way.
Should have ended that way. So Remus's side, they portrayed her, Imogene, as enjoying the spoils of his bootlegging enterprise, betraying her husband for a corrupt government official, stealing her husband's assets, and trying to have him killed. So they were painting her as the bad wife.
Right.
So from there, during this trial, Remus, the ever showman, had frequent outbursts, broke down in court. Remember, he's called Crying Remus.
Super emotional.
Yeah, exactly. So he pled not guilty, and you know how he pled not guilty?
Why is that?
By temporary insanity.
What the hell? It's almost like he invented that.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
That is nuts, yeah.
So you look at this, his charm combined by the missteps with the prosecutor, Taft, he was deemed insane and sent to an asylum. But shockingly, soon after he was there, he was actually found that he was actually sane again.
And he
was
got
good.
out of the asylum.
He was good.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, what you could make a movie about that trial. Just the trial.
Just the trial.
Yeah.
No, you're exactly right. And it's so sensational, it's almost unbelievable.
It is. It really is.
Charles Taft, President William Taft's son,
He fucked it up.
He did fuck it up.
Bad.
But see, here's the thing. It's like, if you are a good attorney and you look at it, and this is what I was saying, if you look at the way the evidence is laid out in front of you, I would have probably done it the exact same way he did. He graduated from Yale. He was a World War I vet. He was elected Hamilton County prosecuting attorney from 26 to 28. He was considered like a rising star in the legal system. Like, everybody was just like, okay, well, if anybody can prosecute this guy, it's the fucking president's son, right?
Yep.
He looked at everything from an analytical perspective. He was like, all the evidence is here. It's like doing the case for us. Remus took the exact opposite approach. He's like, I'm going to make this shit emotional. Fucking crying in court, outbursts, screaming and yelling.
People like me. I don't need facts. That's what he's saying.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
He made it emotional, and the jury sided with him because they're like, you know what? Motherfucker got a point. Like, I want my bitch doing all this shit. Like, seriously, he just like, it was very misogynistic back then, but he played it up like she was a gold-digging whore, and he didn't deserve that. And they believed him because of his outbursts and like his drama.
So again, OJ, right?
OJ.
I mean, they had him dead to rights too. Was it Marcia Clark and then Christopher Darden, the lawyers there?
Yeah.
Screwed it up, made him try on the damn glove. Like, seriously, there's like parallels. I mean,
don't
not
put the glove
exactly,
on.
but no, what are you doing?
Yeah.
If
that
it
was
does
crazy.
not fit, you must have quit.
Yeah. His Remus's first wife, Lillian, and his daughter, Romola. That's Romola Remus for anybody listening at home.
And they came to his help. Like,
They defended
and
him.
he divorced her. He
divorced her
to the damn curb.
Yeah, I get the daughter, but like even the ex-wife, I was like, damn. Yeah. They defended him. They're like, no, he's a good
He
upstanding.
probably gave her a few cars and diamond
Oh
stick
yeah. Here's a stick pin, babe. Yeah, that was crazy that they were like, they decided to defend him too. The jury deliberated only 19 minutes. 19 minutes, and they're like, no, he's fine. Not only that,
We know George.
not only that, around when this trial took place was like in the holidays, they were like, not only do we think he's innocent, but we think you need to let him out for Christmas. Like, they petitioned the judge. They'd be like, please, sir, Your Honor, can you let him out for Christmas?
They wanted gifts from him.
Yeah, so like he can enjoy his like time with his like a living family, and not the ones that he killed. Like, that is nuts, dude.
It is,
Like, he just had
100%.
people eating out of his hand. But it seems very much like a Godfather kind of situation.
Yeah.
Like, he gave back to the community. He's a bootlegger. He was like a swindler, but he was a man of the people. Like, he treated people well. He gave back to the community excessively. So, case in point, just. I don't know what that is a case in point of. But.
Well, I mean, there's a movie, I'm trying to think of the name of it, with Denzel, American Gangster.
Okay.
So have you watched that one?
I don't.
So Frank Wright is his name in that. So it's like a cocaine. So what he would do is go to Vietnam and get the cocaine, so we wouldn't have to cut it and all this stuff. But the community loved him, even though he's killing people and doing this.
Right.
He's handing out turkeys and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how you see a lot of these rappers or anybody like, we're going to the hood for Christmas and handing out turkeys.
Yeah,
Even though
exactly.
I sell cocaine to everybody.
Yeah,
here,
right after I did my drive-by. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So, like you said, he was found insane. He got out after, I think, 7 months.
I didn't see the timeline.
Yeah. He went to a mental hospital. While he was in the hospital, he ended up becoming a mentor to a lot of the patients there. Like, they looked up to him, and he was like teaching them like the ways of life. He created an apple orchard.
Oh, wow.
Like, he just didn't. I mean, he's kind of like fucking Muhammad, He just like giving back to the people and stuff. Everybody at this insane asylum loved him.
So you're saying he was not degenerated clay
He was
himself?
not degenerated clay. He was regenerated clay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ended up, after 7 months, they're like, you're not insane, just get out of here. So he got out of the crime by saying he was insane. He got out of the insane asylum showing he was sane. Like,
Dude's smart.
Oh
Dude's
my
smart.
God, dude. Yeah, he's nuts. After that, the Bar Association in Cincinnati had to reform their jury selection process to get like juries that were, I guess, more like accountable.
Last name wasn't Remus.
That weren't give free turkeys on Thanksgiving by the defendant or whatever. But after that, he ended up moving to Northern Kentucky, Covington.
Yep.
He married again. He settled down, just kind of, he left the limelight, but he ended up living like for a while and just
Yeah, I think he
kind of
passed
chilled.
away in 1952. Was 77 years old.
Yeah.
It was actually natural causes.
Yeah,
So
just like
dude
that was it.
Chilled.
Motherfucker murdered somebody, got away with it, and then just lived the rest of his life like cool.
Well, he was crazy for a little bit, Master.
He was crazy. Sorry, sad, but yeah, like you said, this story was supposedly the inspiration for The Great Gatsby. A lot of stuff lines up. Mainly lighting cigars with $100 bills because that definitely
parties,
checks out.
just the crazy parties.
Wild parties. That's the whole Great Gatsby is like based around.
So
and
a
then
little bit
I
off
gotta watch
subject,
Boardwalk.
but what'd you think about the bourbon?
This is great, dude. I love this. You said this is straight MGP.
MGP. So this is sourced from them, but it's their own brand, so it's their product.
Like they own the.
Honestly, when we did the pick, you cannot do a tour at MGP, so you have to go there as a pick only. But I didn't love it. I didn't love that. I mean, everything C is cool, but I didn't love the pick itself. It's actually gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, just kind of like. How old
Solid.
did you say you? Not the
About 6 years old.
But how long have you had this bottle?
I've had it since 2020 when I did the pick.
Okay, so
But I've had this bottle open for about a year, which is a long time for this bottle.
A
So
long time for that bottle, yeah.
don't want to get us too far off track. But again,
It's
George Remus. Cool.
yeah. Well, the story,
Wild dude.
the story makes it taste better too.
it
Like
does,
that's
it
fucking
does.
nuts. Yeah, the fact that this hasn't been like a major motion picture already, that's kind of boggling.
Yeah.
To my mind, but
Or like a series. I could see it being a series on TV. Like a
Yeah.
Netflix. Like shit.
yeah, and considering how many series they've done on like drug dealers that give back to the community and stuff, we cited like 3 during this telling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell, you could even approach it from the lawyer side. Not even go to his demise. Just go to the lawyer side of it and see what he did.
That's
a lot of
fucking-
angles.
That's fucking great. I can't believe I didn't know all this shit. But George Remus, fucking old folk hero, kind of.
Yeah.
Badass / misogynist / I mean, I guess it's okay because back then everybody was doing it.
We need to go road trip Cincinnati and find this damn mansion.
This fucking
There's gotta
Marble Mansion.
still be
It's
there.
still got it. It has to be there. As big as it was,
We gotta
lavish
figure
as
that
it
out.
was.
We gotta figure that out.
I'll Google that as soon as we turn these cameras off. So, guys, if you enjoyed this, please share it. If you didn't, then keep drinking until you do. For more Arsenic Culture, you can check us out on all the socials. We are at Arsenic Culture,
Like and subscribe on YouTube.
and we'll see you on the next one.